You are listening to ZTO Radio.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Can you explain what you meant by that term then? Just explain, because it's really simple. You said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you mean?
Welcome to ZTO Radio. I'm Frank. We have Ray McGuff over here.
Hi, everybody.
We're doing a session in the Ray Cave because couldn't manage to make it work at Scott's.
I tried to make a little bit of an area here for this so that there'd be less of an echo, but there's still an echo, so I don't know what to do.
What can you do? We both have our own mics, so just cozy up to it and it should be fine.
Correct.
So I wanted to, off the top of, I wanted to tell you that I've reached the age where I wake up in pain. Just pain wakes me up. This morning, I had the worst cramp I've ever had in my calf, and fucking just woke up like, oh god.
In your calf?
Yeah, because it was like tensed up, as hard as it could, like it was gonna bust out of my leg or something. And I'm like, oh god. And Martha's like, what's wrong? What's your problem? Yeah. To try to explain to somebody what's happening when you're being attacked by your own body is really a difficult scenario.
I bet.
I'm like, I got a cramp in my leg. And she's like, well, just point your toe. And I was already doing that because I had no other, that's the only movement I could do is to point my toe.
Right.
And then she's like, it should help. And I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? Do I need to eat a banana? And she's like, you probably need some water. Go get some water. I'm like, is that it?
I don't have enough water in my body. So my body's cramping up.
It was just crazy. And then I kept thinking the whole time, like, from her perspective, she's dead asleep. And then she wakes up to me going, oh my God. Because it was like the worst pain that I'd ever felt. I mean, in a long time anyways.
Right.
Crazy. But what I was thinking when it happened, I was like, if you could market this as like an alarm clock, like if you take this pill at night, you'll wake up at 8 a.m. with the horrible, it'll wake you right up, man.
Right. Violent. Take this pill and you'll wake up with violent
leg pains.
Oh, okay. I'll get you right up.
Just fucking, I was laughing for like 10, 15 minutes after it stopped. Just like, what'd you think was happening when you woke up? But
that is fantastic.
Wrote these notes down a while back, so I have some stuff on here that is kind of out of date to talk about. But we had a tornado emergency. They used that term.
Yeah,
it was like it wasn't a warning.
It was on a holiday night too. I was getting ready to go to bed, and then everybody's like sending messages and asking if we're okay. Mm-hmm. You were in your basement?
Yeah. Well, I sent you a message just because I was worried that, well, I was bored really, but I was also concerned that my friends in town were safe.
Yeah. We didn't even hear apparently there was a siren. Mm-hmm. We didn't hear it.
It's probably hard for you to hear out this way.
We're kind of out in the country out here.
Well, we're on the south side of Kenton and we barely heard it. But my kids were losing their shit, man, because Martha had her phone out. Had the Dayton weather people on there. Yeah. And first of all, weather guys, can you relax a little bit? I know that you barely have anything to get excited about most of the time. And then you get a tornado emergency, which is something I had never even heard before. And you guys just lose your fucking mind. It's out of line. But
yeah, that was probably the grossest thing about it. And I know that they claim that they're doing it for you. They're like, oh, we're all about saving your life. But they get a big old weather boner over it. Yeah.
There's a certain point where you can say, which this is what my kids were freaking out about. They were saying stuff like, if you are outside, you will not survive.
Right.
But this is Dayton. So I had to explain to my kids, that's like hours away.
Right.
We're in a zone that's highly probable there could be a tornado, but they really are caught off guard by how huge this thing is. You know, that's really what the problem is.
Yeah.
And they were still freaking out, man. It was, that's my thing. I know you're informing people. We were paying attention to all the reports. Calm it down a little bit. Don't get so excited. And maybe you can let people know that it's very dangerous outside. But remember, there's children maybe listening. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a public...
I mean, on the one I was watching, the Spectrum one, they were telling you to wake people up and get in the basement.
Yeah.
Like, I woke my parents. My dad was up, but my mom was asleep. And we woke her up, and she's like, I'll get up in a minute. And I'm like, no, according to the weather, you don't have a minute.
Right.
Like, 15 minutes, this thing may blow our house away. So,
yeah. And, you know, our thoughts go out to the people in Dayton and Salina that actually did get nailed.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And, you know, you can say that weather patterns change and there's a shift in the weather and it may change again, but we're seeing climate change in action right now. In India today, I just read, temperatures topped 123 degrees.
Wow.
It's never been recorded
crazy.
in their entire history as that.
People die in that temperature, I believe. Yeah. What the fuck? Oh yeah. I throughout the, you know, I've been sitting on these notes for a while, so throughout the week I wrote down things that popped in my head. I was thinking about new teeth cleaning methods. Because it's 2019 and every time I brush my teeth, I gag. I'm like, ugh, you know, every time. I'm like, why haven't they fucking made a new thing? You know, like, I don't know anything.
Well, I have electric toothbrush, but they've had that for a while.
Right, but you're still using basically soap for your teeth.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gets me. It's not the toothbrush. It's
Right.
the creamy teeth soap that I'm using. And we've tried all kinds of different brands. It always just, you know, I just think about it.
There's
It's the mouthfeel.
yeah, there's no, and you're right. It's basically just some stuff they came up with in the 1870s, and they still kept using it. So
Yeah, and I've seen that you can buy a UV light toothbrush. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way to that.
I mean, how hard do you think they're laughing at that factory?
Right. Exactly.
You're clean now.
Yeah, put this light on.
Yeah,
your
put
teeth.
that light. Who says it, doctors?
Yeah, but yeah, you had some topics you want to bring up? You want to bring one up here?
Oh yeah, real quick. I'll start with the well, since you were bringing up aches and pains, I'll chime in on that. Okay. I went bike riding last weekend, and there's a really nice park about 1.5 miles away from here, and I rode down through a neighborhood, and it was beautiful out. But by the time I got to the lake, I thought I was going to die.
Oh yeah, that's hard work.
My legs were on fire, and I was sitting on this park bench, just sweat covered. Like I had this shirt on, as a matter of fact,
Right.
and it was stuck to me. And I'm doing this, going, and I didn't bring any water because I thought I'll only be gone for like half an hour, 40 minutes.
Right.
Terrible idea. Next time I'll put a book bag of shit together.
You have a meal.
Yeah,
Have a little meal
like
there.
a power bar. And so people are like walking by me, and I'm like, hey. You know, they're looking at me. Snapped a few photos. Finally, my legs were feeling a little bit better, so I got back on the bike, rode all the way around the lake, because that's what I went there for, was to see how far it goes.
Right.
Back up the trail into the neighborhood, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Right. Well, you were going uphill on the way back,
uphill.
right? Yeah.
So I got off my bike and walked it back up the hill. And then rode it down into my driveway.
Right.
Because I just couldn't. But I couldn't do it. Like, I was like, I can't do
man.
this.
You get yourself a fucking leg cramp doing shit like that.
Yeah. I just think when you were a kid, I used to hop on that bike and ride it all, not on this particular bike, but on a bike, and ride it all day.
Do jumps and stuff.
Yeah, well, and just ride it for miles and not even break a sweat.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. You get off of it and run.
Yeah, on a cool day like today, I would have rode it to somebody's yard, thrown it down, ran into a football game, played football for a while, got on it and rode. I mean, what happened to me as a person?
Man, the last time I rode a bike it was probably 10 years ago, and it was from my parents' house to Scott's house. It was probably about 3 miles, something like that. By the time I got there, I wanted to die.
Yeah,
it was really hard work.
It is.
So,
yeah, it's terrible. And it's fun though. Like there is a certain freedom
right
to that stuff.
to be untethered to you could discard this bike if you needed to.
Yeah, because all I had on me was my phone, and I threw my driver's license in case I got hit by a car. That way they knew who I was.
Wow, that's thoughtful. I would have never even thought of that.
But I didn't take my wallet or keys or anything. Just those two things. And the only reason I took my phone is because I wanted to take pictures of the lake because it was cool looking.
Yeah, that is a nice little park down there.
Yeah. But dude, like the freedom, like riding through that neighborhood and taking the trail back and stuff. And I was like, man, this is what it's all about. And then about 5 more minutes after that, I'm like, I think I may die.
It is something. I thought about it the other day about all the shit I used to do in the summertime that would kill me now. Just how many times do you remember like swimming someplace and just jumping over and over again into water, climbing up a ladder, jumping into water, climbing up a ladder, swimming to the ladder, climbing up it.
Well, I was never a swimmer. I never learned to swim.
Oh, really?
But I would go to pools and pool parties, and I would just chill.
Right. Just by the pool?
I put my feet in for a while, where I was one of those kids that people are like, get in, Randy, the water's nice. I'm like, yeah. And then I'd get in up to my neck, and I'd take the water and put it in my hair. And I'd be like, I'm having an awesome time.
Well, that is the best part.
Yeah.
Because learning to swim is being taught, taking a class. Uh-huh. It's nerve-wracking. I remember doing it when I was a kid, and the shit they make you do to learn to swim is very terrifying when you don't know how to do it,
Right.
Like to have somebody just holding your body, supporting you, and they're like, all right, well, here you go, and then just let go, and then you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
You got to get your bearings together. But
yeah,
my kids are doing it next week. They're doing swimming lessons for the second year in a row, and I don't know if they're effective or not, but I guess we'll see, huh? It's one of those things.
I mean, Godspeed, John Glenn. I never wanted to do it. I fell into a pool when I was a kid on vacation, and my dad pulled me up by my hair. Yeah. And after that, I was like, I don't really want to do this stuff.
Yeah, I almost died too in the water. I don't know if it was before or after I learned to swim, because what happened to me, it wouldn't have mattered because I had a life jacket on, right? And I'm standing at the Indian Lake on one of those docks that's just, straight out from a campground or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, Mom, if I fall in this water, this jacket will keep me from dying, right? I won't sink. She's like, yeah, it's a life jacket. It'll keep you afloat. So I jump in between the dock and a boat, and guess what? I went right underneath the boat. So I went under enough to go under the boat, and then the thing was keeping me basically pressed against the underside of this boat.
Oh my god!
My mom had to jump in and get me out.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's even more frightening.
Yeah.
So at least I was in a swiming area where there's 100 people.
I think the thing I was most terrified of is that I was just going to jump in and get right back out. But that place is full of snakes and shit, so I was like, oh, well, there's snakes down here. But I was also drowning at the same time, so I don't know. But
spitting out that Indian Lake water.
Oh yeah, that delicious Indian Lake water. They do have a nice beach. I do like the beach. No matter what you say about it, it's a fun time. Take your kids there. Good time.
They have nature trails that are awesome there too. I used to love going there when I was a kid.
Yeah. So. But anyways, let's listen to some music here. Well, got some Little Pink from Toledo, Ohio coming up. The Voice of God from Dayton, Ohio, and a little bit of stand-up comedy from Kolin Brun. We'll be right back on ZTO Radio.
She walks across the cracks that show the age in the city. She wears my favorite t-shirt. Her face becomes apparent as I race streetcars. My heart stops, but my feet move. Waiting for the door to close, but it never closes. I walk around while she takes her steps across it. Don't need a picture to remember the moment. I keep walking back to her yesterday. It's a common occurrence. Walks around out of town thinks of melancholy's dressing now. Pretty as Neptune's blue. It's rings near invisible but gorgeous as herself. It's a wonder how it knows to see. Waiting for the door to close but it never closes. I walk around while she takes her steps across it. Don't need a picture to remember the moment. I'll keep walking back to her yesterday to call it occurrence. It's by common assurance. It's by common occurrence.
An awkward shadow follows them daily. They cannot shake it, so they fake it. Suddenly I have a thing that turns the fast. I am falling in the face and the hate is fucked up. Your accusations, they make me bleed. Investigating and always hating. Barely I haven't counted all you say he had us done. Struggling and kind of something. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Where I live, I work in a smoke/sex shop, or as we affectionately call it, the bong and dong. I have a lot of people who come in and ask for gag gifts, which are really just blow-up dolls for them to fuck. They never want to buy the funny joke one. They never want to buy the old lady, which I swear on my life was called the Goo Goblin Granny. They never want to buy that one. They're always like, oh yeah, give me the hot chick and a bottle of the jerk-off lotion, man. I'm gonna prank him so good. All right, bro. First off, you are not pranking, all right? You're spanking. We know what you're doing. There's no shame in this. We don't care that you're going home to fuck a beach ball, okay? We don't care. I think the weirdest part about my job is the staggering amount of people that call me sir. It's like, bro, I just sold you a butt plug that was shaped like a pig's tail, all right? We can drop the formalities and dial this back just a little bit. This is not a sir conversation. Look at me, Lima. I'm like a dude at best. I've sold some weird things at my store, though. I've sold every variation of blow-up animal that you can imagine. Sheep, pig, cow. And the cow was fun because when you tilted it back and went, it was fucking great. The weirdest one, though, was called the Alien Love Doll with 12 out-of-this-world holes. And, you know, it had the front, the back, the mouth, you know, the classics, tried and true, you know, we all know. And then it just got weird. It was like eyes and fucking ears. And then, oddly enough, it had a three-pronged hand. Each hand had a little three-pronged claw. I'm glad to tell you guys that you could fuck each and every one of those fingers, baby. You could fuck this doll more ways than the government could fuck you, is what I'm saying.
Welcome back to ZTO Radio. I'm Frank. We got Ray over here in the hot box.
I'm in the hot box on the hot seat on a saturated.
The next thing I wanted to bring up was I just wanted to mention how we try really hard here to do things that are cool and fun and funny and whatever you think of it.
We try to entertain you.
But the thing that drives me mad is when I do something stupid and it gets shared a million fucking times, and then our original content is just sitting there like, boom, like it's just sitting there. People watch it, but then like I'll put a meme together that takes 5 seconds, and then it gets shared 400, 500 times, and I'm like,
yeah.
Like there was this guy in Wapak. I didn't even read the article. It just said Wapak man says the devil made me do it.
Right.
So then I made this little meme. You saw it.
I saw it.
And it got shared around. It was riling some people up. They were like, "This is uncalled for." But listen, if you say the devil made you burn a building down, you're ripe for.
Yeah,
you're a ripe target.
You might as well just get set in there to be made fun of.
Right.
And you probably don't care anyways.
Yeah.
You know, you've got bigger fish to fry.
But that got shared a bunch of times. Like whenever I put that fucking Jessica White video up, that got shared a ton. It still is the number one. I looked at the analytics for the first time for the Facebook page today, video wise. All time, that still is number one. Because it still continues to garner at least 400, 500 views a week.
And it really is cool. It's something special. If you haven't seen it and you're listening, Jessica White, he created a famous dance.
Right? Well, his dad did.
His dad did, and
he created a famous lore about his insane drug habits and drinking.
But he was a cool dude. He had a lot of interesting stuff, and Frank shares this video that was apparently hard to find for most people.
I think it was an old PBS documentary.
Yeah.
So it's not available. I streamed it live. I had it sitting on a data disk somewhere that I had hooked with my old pirate hook off of back in the torrent, days back probably 10 years ago, but
back in the dark times in the never.
But I noticed something with that shit. It gets people looking at our page. Yeah. It gets us likes. And so regardless of how I feel about the quality of the content that's getting shared, at least our name's getting around there. And
to me, the most insane thing was the next day it had 10,000 views.
Right.
And then 100,000 later, and Jessica White's current wife, is commenting on our page, selling her wares and stuff. And I'm like, I go, hey, we have other videos. If you guys like that, you should check out some of the old Ray McGuff stuff.
Right, but we can't really compare what we do with that old PBS.
I can. I saw the documentary.
Okay.
Carving a Smile is about the same quality as that
That's
documentary.
True, but we don't have any wild ass shit in there.
Well, we could if Derek Collins would release some of. If he'd lessen his fingers on things a little, we could have some Jessica White stuff from him.
I don't know if I have anything really that I haven't released. But, we used to have a ton of video back in the old high 8 days when we had everybody had those high 8 cameras.
Oh yeah. And
man, if I could just find those tapes. Those old party tapes and stuff. We have a lot of stuff to put out. But
well, we did. Chelsea, our friend Chelsea, she sent us a DVD, and you pulled stuff from that. There was some good concerts.
The one from Finley has the Criminal Brandon Pinks right in it.
Yeah,
howling around.
Criminal Brandon Pinks. And what's funny about that guy is we all always knew that he was off.
Yeah, there was always a potential for.
He was one of those people that you're like, he's here, so I'm going to keep my eye on him.
Yeah. You never knew what. You always kind of when he touched you, you'd be like, ugh. Yeah. There was always something because he was a touchy kind of guy.
He was a touchy guy. He'd come up, give you a shoulder rub, say, hey, how you doing?
Definitely get you right on the shoulders.
And you're like, you're good, and you liked him, all right. You're like, I am okay with this guy.
Yeah.
But then apparently later in life, things changed.
It was less of a friendship, more of a. I'm glad I'm on his side.
Exactly.
Because if I wasn't on his side, who fucking knows,
I to this day, I remember working with him very vividly and a couple of times thinking, I'm glad that guy likes me. Yeah. Because I think he would kill me.
Yeah. I actually have several people that I feel that way about in my life.
Me too. I'm not going to name them, but
no.
I think they already know who they are.
Anyways, what else do you have to talk about?
Yeah, so that was one thing. Then I'm thinking about taking a trip. I work all the time, and I am miserable sometimes. And
you like to travel.
And I like to travel, so I was thinking about getting a singles cruise, or doing something crazy like going to Morocco. For $1,100, I could go to Morocco and live like a king for 4 days. Right, yeah. Now, I might get killed. Who knows? I don't know.
Like by some guy with a big sword.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Dr. Jones, you drink the poison. But anyway, at any rate, I'm not afraid of that kind of stuff. I could die on the way to work in the morning. I don't fucking know. But I have to get a passport. I've never had one. I've been to Canada several times, but it was before this whole 9/11 situation happened. So I comment the other day, because passports are very expensive in my world. $209 if you want it expressly done to you, and that's and you do it at the post office. And people are like, "Oh, it's 144 or it's 115."
Once it gets all down to it, I mean, I don't know how it works. I've never bought one or had the inclination to buy one.
Right.
But at my place of business, we sell the photos.
Right.
So you probably have to come to us and get a photo.
Yes.
And then you would have to submit that to them, and they would have to approve it because there's a lot of details. I don't think you wear glasses. You can't smile, which is stupid because if you wear glasses, that's what you look like.
Right.
You're always walking around with them.
I don't normally look like this. I look like this.
Yeah. But people come in all the time, and that costs like $9 just for a photo.
Right. So it's expensive. So I post on, and I don't know how they work because I've never had one. So I just always assumed if you were leaving the country, you needed to show it to somebody, right? But so I have this guy who comments, first off, that's first world problems that you're complaining. You should be glad that you get to do that. And you don't need it to leave the country. You need it to get back into the country. Well, first off, excuse the hell out of me for not knowing that. Part B is paying $150 for something that I think is ridiculous anyways. These are all made-up lines we're talking about.
Right.
Your country, wherever you're from, it's all bullshit.
Right.
That's some people that went there and killed people to live there.
Yeah, and then they sanction it all off.
Yeah, and then they go, those trees over there, that's where our land ends. So, excuse me if I think the whole enterprise is ridiculous.
Right. Well, and let's address the first world problems thing.
Yeah.
Stop fucking saying that, because everybody has a different level of problems.
Yeah.
Whether it's I'm hooked on meth and I can't seem to get my shit together, or this is fucking ridiculous. I want a break from my hard-working job that I go to all the time, and I want to be able to go somewhere, but I don't want to have to drop that like $300.
Yeah, to just start. That's not even in the trip yet. You know, that's like to go, oh, I might want to go somewhere on this cruise and get off the boat. Because if you get off the boat, you have to have it.
Yeah.
Unless you're in America. And then if that's the case, why would I drive?
Yeah.
I hate flying anyways. So I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going to go or end up yet. But this whole thing to me, this whole passport enterprise is insane. And I just found this out because my mother just had her birthday, and she has to get her driver's license, so she went to get them the other day. In October 1st of 2020, to fly anywhere in the United States, you have to have a special driver's license anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to have a star on it, a passport star. You can use it like a passport, so you can fly out of the country. But to even have, if I wanted to fly to Dayton from here, or from Columbus to Dayton, I would have to have this special driver's license, or they won't even let you buy a ticket.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But with the whole driver's license thing, they changed it not too long ago where you don't even get one when you leave the place. You get a piece of paper.
That's right.
And then they mail it to you.
Yeah.
What's that? How's that saving money?
It's because printing them in the store was causing, it took time and effort, so the wages. And then the actual manufacturing of it costs money. The machines will go down and stuff.
Right.
So they're thinking by taking all of that out of the BMV and coordinating it off to one centralized company, that they're going to get more people in and out quicker.
No, impossible.
It's not. You still have people that have questions. You still have to do the eye test.
Right.
It's not any more quick. It's just not.
Ultimately, the part where they're printing off the license isn't the part that takes up all the time. It's all the questions. It's all the double checking.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff. It's taking the new photo. It's all of that. I have to do an eye test every time. That takes some time. I can stand there and wait on. I'm not even in the way when they're printing that thing off. They could be doing another one right behind me. Right. I mean, it's going as fast as it possibly can.
But they don't. What they did back then, if you remember, is they tell you to go sit down, and then they do the paperwork for the other. Then they hand you the license, and then they have the other person. They never were taking pictures left and right. So to me, it was like, hey, if you're not efficient, that's on you. You know, why you're inconvenient. They gave my mom, like you're saying, a piece of paper. Just to keep, you know how inconvenient that is if I had to stick that in my wallet, how mad I'd be, you know?
And then the mail service is not really, I mean, I hate to rag on them, but they're not really the most efficient service. No. I've had mail that's not mine delivered to my house so many times. You know, some of it, I don't even know the person to deliver it to or what I would do with it. Just put it back in there and they never take it. Right. Like I put it back in my mailbox and it just sits there. I can clip it on there with a clothespin. They don't take it. They never do. I have to take it to the mailbox.
I've wrote return to sender, and not here, but when I lived in an apartment, and put it in the mail and got it right back into my box before. Like, so, okay, you know, like it's not my responsibility, but that's neither here. Yeah, it's not an efficient process at all. Yeah. This whole idea that these imaginary lines, like you having to tell me now that I have to have a special license to fly is stupid. You know?
It's already such a pain in the ass for anyone to fly. I never want to. I don't ever want to fly. It's nothing I want to do, but just because of the concept of the whole thing. But if that weren't enough, all of the rigmarole they make you go through to get onto the plane, and the ticket prices are stupid. Yeah, they're raking in money left and right. I mean, the way they should make money in the airlines isn't by overcharging on the shitty seats. They should make money off the rich people that are fucking up there with 3 seats between each other. Not touching elbows or nothing, drinking free champagne and stuff. They paid for that. These people are just trying to get to someplace, I don't know. I guess if you're flying anyways, that's a pretty, I guess, fancy thing to do.
It used to be. It's not anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I remember hearing a story, and this is true, that when flying became reasonably priced, people would get dressed up. It was an event, you know? The last time I flew was coming back from California, and I had been wearing the same pants for 3 days, and I had ran out of underwear, and I had a hole in my pants, and my ball sack was hanging out, and I smelled like an old foot because I had been staying in that chemical toilet shack, and I had fell asleep and drooled all over my face because I was so tired. It's not really an event anymore.
And I'm sure it wasn't then. People just did that stuff in suits.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's take a little break here. We'll listen to some more music. Suffocate Faster from Cincinnati and Gudger from Columbus, Ohio. We will be right back. hope you enjoyed those wonderful song selections. We are back on ZTO Radio, and it's officially summer. I mean, it's hot these days here in Ohio. And, man, people really just get out and about, especially in this town. You don't see them at all until it gets hot, and then you see them everywhere. And the people in this area have stopped giving a fuck, I think. I mean, in general.
I got to say, yeah, I drove home Friday with my windows down and some music playing, and I was watching all the patio people, on their patios and porches, and yeah, I got to say that they just don't give a shit.
Well, that's a very specific thing. I think if you have designated a place you hang out to be, let's say the front porch, there's I think there might be a dress code to it, and it usually involves a lot of sweat material, sweats. I think maybe a Tweety Bird shirt. I mean, in this town, it's probably different everywhere.
I used to love seeing yoga pants. Used to.
Not so much now. Back in the
Dublin,
in the county.
Dublin, Ohio yoga pants are different than Hardin County yoga pants.
I saw this is some shit I saw the other day. It had downpoured. Like, it rained. I left work, and it had literally just stopped downpouring. There was water coming down the alley, like a river coming down this alley. Well, I get down onto my street, and this guy, whenever someone's mowing and they pull all the way out in the road.
Oh, I hate that.
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
But this guy did it, and then I noticed he's holding a small child on his lap while he's driving this thing.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, I wanted to yell out the window, dude, what the fuck? Like.
You know how dangerous that is, man? I actually have heard of somebody that had died that way once.
All it takes is for you to drop that kid when you go to reach for your bush light or whatever, and there's a leg gone or a hand gone or whatever,
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit you see in Kenton in the summertime, though, man.
And can I also add to that, though, since we're talking about mowing?
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of hearing about how grass is it's the end all be all for everybody on a two-wheel bicycle, motorcycle. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I can't be more clear to you. If you're riding that dangerous instrument anyways, then you watch out for the fucking grass clippings. Right. I don't put the grass in the road. I want everybody to know that. I make sure I don't do it. You know why? Not because I give a shit about you, but because it looks tacky.
Yeah, it does.
Okay? But if you're on something that's so finicky that tiny little blades of grass will slide you off and kill you, then maybe don't ride it. I don't know. But why am I always doing all this stuff for you every year?
Man, if there was some sort of ruling that came down that was like, if the road outside your house gets wet, you're gonna have to dry it off. You're gonna have to go out there with towels and dry it off, because there's these people that like to drive these orbs around that if they hit this water, they're just gonna fucking die. And maybe not drive the orbs around. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing that I have to do all this work so that you can do something that's pretty dangerous to begin with.
It doesn't make sense to me, and I see people complain about it constantly.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
and they act like they're in some kind of protected class. Oh, well, you don't know how it is to be a motorcycle rider. I don't. You know why? Because I like luxury, okay? I like air conditioning and fucking CD players that play in my ear and not in a helmet that I have to put on. Or some of you don't even wear helmets because you're too cool for school and you got a backwards cap on and some Oakleys. And good for you, And you know what was a cool movie? The movie with Dennis Hopper where Easy Rider. That was a cool movie, but it wasn't like a lifestyle choice.
You know what I would like to see was if in Easy Rider, either Dennis Hopper or what was his name, Newman. Was it Paul Newman?
No, it was
Peter
Fonda.
Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
If Peter Fonda or Dennis Hopper were driving down the road, because a lot of that movie is just no matter what you say about it, that movie is just a lot of motorcycle riding.
Yeah.
If at one point they're driving side by side and Dennis Hopper goes, "Hey!" like taps him on the shoulder because they can probably reach each other.
Yeah.
"Hey, you see that up there? Looks like old Farmer Johnson didn't mow his grass right. It's all over the road. What do you want to do?" I bet, Peter Fonda would look over and go, "Are you a fucking pussy?"
Yeah, right? Have yourself another drink. Actually, wouldn't that have been a better ending?
Yeah.
Instead of the hillbilly shooting him,
They
they
just
just
grass.
slid into grass and exploded. Still same song and everything, still same camera angle.
Yeah. And here's one. I know a guy that rides motorcycles. I'm not going to name him. He probably won't watch this or listen to it or anything. But he rides them all the time, and I kind of joke around with him about him. But I've seen him post videos of him and his friends in the local area doing some of the most reckless ass shit I've ever seen people do on a motorcycle. Wheelies, peeling through stop signs.
Right.
If you are doing shit like that, I don't give a shit about grass. I mean, really.
Yeah.
What if you hit here's one. What about a pothole?
Right.
What if you're driving along, especially in this town? There's potholes everywhere.
Potholes all over this.
Are potholes more of a problem than grass?
Wouldn't that be? Yeah. Well, shouldn't there be some bumper stickers that say "Look out for potholes"?
Well, yeah, look out for potholes. But also, stop putting it all on the people that drive cars and trucks, because you're very hard to see. But you know what? We're not hard to fucking see because we're in a big thing. So before you tell us to watch out for motorcycles, how about y'all also look out for cars?
And to me, my whole thing with you guys and gals is this. So you're on this motorcycle, right? And I've got to look out for you. A lot of you are drunk.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let's
Poker
be
runs,
real.
man.
Yeah. A lot of you are super drunk. So what you're asking me to do is to go, "Hey, I'm going to be partying on this 2-wheel thing. Can you watch out for me later?"
Yeah.
Really? I mean, you're not drinking, right? You're driving a car.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on this thing.
Yeah,
I've made this decision.
I'm in this car with Bluetooth and NPR, so I'm not. You're right. I'm not drinking. You're partying, so I should.
Isn't
be careful.
it weird though that like it's totally 100% legal to just ride a motorcycle around in Ohio, sans helmet? Which I know what you're going to say. A lot of times helmets actually kill people. It's a lot safer to not have. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Fuck that shit. But it's illegal to drive around a car without a seatbelt on.
Right.
So I can't be untethered inside my box that would prevent me possibly from flying through the windshield. Maybe I might bang around in there a little bit. But you can just be loose.
Oh yeah.
Flying down on a 2-wheeled thing that all it takes is a dog to run out in front of you and you're flying through the air like a goddamn cartoon character.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're right. Helmets. They're dangerous sometimes. They might stop your cranium from being cracked open.
Right. Did you have another topic you wanted?
I did, real quick. This is kind of a deep topic, and I debated on even bringing it up, but police officers, I've never been a fan of police officers my entire life.
It's very difficult.
I guess it depends on how your upbringing was. Like, my parents taught me to be respectful to everybody, but we were poor, so it seemed like they were always bothering the people that I knew. Like they were never really helping anybody. I mean, you know what I mean? So the older I got, the more I started liking, like, police detectives are amazing. I think, like I like that kind of stuff. But I saw this thing about, and you gotta unravel the whole thing about police. Right now in America, more people dislike police officers than like them. It's a fact.
Even if you're not doing anything wrong,
right?
You don't want to deal with one.
Exactly.
Because they aren't there to serve and protect. They're there to bother and arraign, basically.
Yeah, their job, it's like they get like higher accolades the more people they bring in. It's very weird scenario. But I never really looked at the flip side of their coin because I've always just been afraid of them. You know? And you shouldn't be afraid. Yeah, I mean, even if I had to call one right now, I would be leery about it. Even if I was in danger, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, come out, I guess, but don't shoot me. I've got a blue shirt on.
Yeah, and like, if I call you, don't maybe ask me a bunch of asinine questions. I brought you into the situation, so.
But there are police that are, There are police that are killing people right now.
Oh, yeah.
Unarmed civilians.
All the time.
Mass amounts. And then there are good police that are not doing that. But there's an epidemic right now in the police officer community that I heard about, and I didn't know this, but there was a rise by 16% last year of suicides for police officers.
Oh, yeah.
And when they narrowed it down as to why, it's because people are more and more afraid of them. And the things that they went through, these guys, these weren't bad people. These guys were never involved with the four that I heard about on NPR. They weren't involved in anything. They had good records, but people would come up and spit on them. You know, when they would pull into a bad neighborhood and they would be checking a crime out, they would be taunted and throwing stuff. And, and so I was thinking, like, and they killed themselves over it. You know, they left their wives and kids. It's a sad situation on both sides. So I was like, when I'm listening to this, I'm like, well, how do you fix that? Well, your entire perception has to change.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're going into that field, you got to be somebody now who says, I'm going to go in there to change the culture of policing.
You have to be that guy in the movies that would turn things around at a bad precinct. Or
Serpico. You know? Yeah.
The thing that happens, though, is let's say somebody gets shot in a black neighborhood. That's always where I see videos. I just saw one from Columbus that was some guy getting pushed violently by a cop at a crime scene. They roll up. And I understand you're nervous as a police officer to go into these scenarios. You do not need an assault rifle looking gun full of not pellets or whatever it would be. This guy had an assault rifle looking gun.
And it had salt pellets.
Beanbags in there or something. That's intimidating. People don't want to see that. You are the police state at that point. You are not an investigator. Here's what they could do. Every police force should have an investigator, like a Columbo type, like a likable kind of gruff guy that they send along and they hey John, maybe you should just calm down a little bit. You're being a little bit too pushy. Something like that. You know, some guy that's likable that goes along with them as kind of a deterrent or a liaison to the police activity. They're there to be there if they need to be. They can stand back and look cool with their guns like they like to do. But maybe this guy deals with the people on they need a customer service representative because they really don't have one. You're dealing with Captain Dickface and
I mean, if you watch Cops, the TV show Cops, I mean, that's where I got most of the ideas of police from. Like, what are you doing? Walking. And they're right. Most of the time they're right. People are nefarious, up to nefarious, no good.
Right.
But what's your job? Is your job to stop the crime? I guess. But is it to maybe build a bridge, like you're saying, a liaison with the community so that they can police their own neighborhoods a little and help?
Yeah. I mean,
and they don't hate you because of it? You know, I think that's the thing that got me the most was these guys felt so hated that they shot themselves with their own service weapons.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, man, because you see those guys on Cops and you think they're bravado and brash, and you see the detectives, they're completely opposite version of them. So you're like, where's the disconnect? Are we training the everyday police to be paramilitary troops? I mean, and then detectives are like, you know, still the old school cops, how we shifted it, you know?
And people don't understand that police are told what to do by higher up agencies, basically.
Right.
I saw a video from the KKK rally in Dayton a while back.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't even from Dayton. It was from a KKK rally. A very small group of Nazi people.
I think it was Dayton because I saw the video floating around.
And the cops were circled around them, walking them down the streets. And somebody in the comment section said, well, why are the cops helping the Nazis out? It's not that they're helping the Nazis. Some of those cops were black. I'm pretty sure they fucking hated it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of job they have to do sometimes.
Right.
But I'll tell you why they were walking with the Nazis. Because Nazis are prime targets for violence. You see a Nazi walking down the street, half the time they're going to get punched by somebody if they're not accompanied by protective forces.
As they should. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's right what they're saying, but they do have, unfortunately, under free speech, the right to say it.
Right.
So unless you want free speech to be gone, you have to allow people that have stupid ideas to say their stupid ideas. We have a president that says them all the time.
Constant. And he's almost a Nazi.
Yeah.
He's practically one.
I mean, basically.
Yeah. But it just blew my mind. And so I think I'm going to have to reevaluate a little bit about how I approach police and think about them in a little different light.
Right.
You know, not be so afraid, so that myself change my own vision of that, you know, because I don't want them killing themselves.
No.
I mean, if you're a good person and you really genuinely got into it to help people and people are spitting on you because of other police officers, I mean, that's horrible, you know?
There's I look at it like I look at everybody else. It's a case-by-case scenario.
Yeah.
I've, you know, working at the liquor store, we have a lot of crime in there, like small-time crime. So we have to deal with the police on a regular basis, you know. They'll come in, even if we're not directly involved, they'll come in to get a videotape of someone who was in the store who got in a car accident or whatever. They need to see how drunk they were when they came into our store. So that happens a lot. Also, you know, theft and stuff. So I've dealt with some cops in this town that are decent, reasonable people that they can laugh about stuff, and you know, they're just normal people. And then I've met other people who think they're the guy from they think they're the cop from Terminator or whatever, you know, before he became the T-1000 or whatever. That cop. They think they're like cool. They think they're the cool cop that's got everybody pinned.
I've met a lot of Vic Mackeys. You ever watch The Shield? You know?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those guys who come running at you and they're like, I'm a police officer, you don't talk to me like that. That's why I get afraid. You know, I'm like, oh, geez, you're right. You have a badge and basically blanket authority. You could shoot me and go, he was going to stab me in the neck with his car keys. Yeah. And everybody go, oh, well done. You know, so that's why I'm afraid.
This is the thing that scares me. Especially in this area. I'm sure it's different in other areas. If a police officer around here thinks you did something, they're not good enough a detective to fucking figure out if you didn't. So if they don't have solid evidence that you didn't do something, but they think that you did do something, you did it. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Because, you know, there was the Walmart bomber not too long ago. There was a guy in town who was the number one suspect in that. And if they wanted to, they could have just fucking said, you did it, and he would have been under, you know, grand jury or whatever that guy's dealing with the FBI, you know? Yeah. So it just depends on where you're at. I think, look at police officers as human beings, and there's a fucked up human being in every job. And think about any job you've ever had. There's always been that one guy that you wouldn't want to have power. Right. So yeah,
I mean, that's got just, if I just think about my office right now, and I go, man, if that guy had a gun and a badge, he would fucking murder people. There's no doubt about it.
That's a fun thing to do. Sometimes I'll do that at my job. I'll be like, what if we were all automatically all cops? Like, this person would be fucked. That would be problematic, you know? Right. Or like another one of the fun, think about your office, everybody in your office, on an island. Like, you've been dropped into an island, like Lost.
Yeah.
Like, who would be an asset, and who you would be like, God damn it, motherfucker, ate the wrong berries. Now he's dead. Yeah, look at that. Now he's dead. That's
I know some people right away that would be Lord of the Flied.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I can just picture. I've worked with people where I've brought that scenario up. I'm like, if we were on a desert island, you would die because you drank ocean water. There you go. That's your personality type, but. Anyways, let's get into some music here again. We got T.F.U. from Athens, Ohio. That stands for The Fuck Ups, in case you didn't know. Slow Violence from Columbus, Ohio, and some stand-up from Cecil Heyman. We will be right back.
Myself is completely fucked. No. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck
up. I ain't fucking talking to you, dude.
It grows.
next is Cecil Heyman. Come on up, Cecil. And sound guy, you're killing it with the changing of the colors. I love that.
As I get older, I think you guys will agree with me on this. As we get older, like I just stop giving a fuck about things and accepting them as reality, even if they're drastic. Like I woke up 2 days ago, can't hear out of my left ear. I guess that's just life now. I guess that's just a thing I'm doing. Like, it's gonna be like, yeah, my name's Cecil, can't hear out of my left ear. I'm not going to a doctor for it. I'm just gonna let it go. It's kind of like, oh, like my knee hurts. Like, I guess my knee hurts. It's gonna hurt every day. That's fine. Or like, oh, I shit blood sometimes. Sure, other people do that. That's normal. Like, you know, that's part of getting old, you know? It's part of what's going on. I'm getting like worse at things I used to be good at. Like, I'm still pretty good at drinking. Like, I'm still pretty happy with my ability to drink. But now it's like, I puke real easy. I have like acid reflux and shit. Like, I took a drink the other day and just baby vomited all down my front. And it was like white and shit, and I haven't had milk in a long time. I'm not vegan, it's just milk's kind of more expensive than tap water, if you think about it. I got my calcium through the sun, or whatever. People do that. It wasn't a shot either. It wasn't like I did like a double shot, and it wasn't a strong beer. It was a little bit blue, and it was not the other day. It was in that fucking bathroom. So I feel sorry for that lady that's been cleaning the bathroom all night, because that's where that is. I drink pretty much every day because I do comedy or something like that every day. Like if livers were like children, mine would be taken from me by the state and placed into foster care. We would have scheduled visits every week. I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I work at a head shop called The Joint. You guys heard of that? Blue Joint. You can buy pretty much everything there besides like paper to dip and LSD. Yeah, we don't sell that for some reason. We have people ask for it, but we don't have it. I work at The Joint, which is a head shop, so I just sell water pipes all day. And by water pipes, I mean meth pipes. I sell a whole lot, lots of fucking meth pipes. I'm not saying that if you play the lottery, you smoke meth, but if you smoke meth, you definitely play the lottery. And you know all of the numbers you want. You're gonna repeat them to me a bunch of times, then tell me how purple is your grandmother's favorite color, and you wanna play with that shit for a while, and then bring up about $1,000 for the shit, and then buy none of it for like 3 hours. Love it. It's a lot of fun. They just made this new law in Columbus. I don't know, you guys all seem like you're over 21, so it doesn't affect you. But they made tobacco products and paraphernalia, all 21 in Columbus, which kind of hurts our business, but I don't own the store, so I don't really care. But it means I get to turn away little 18-year-old meth heads now. I'm like, oh no, what are you gonna do? You have to give a second hand job in an alley to get this. Before 10 a.m., 2 hand jobs before 10 a.m.? I thought this was America. Fuck. Poor little guy. You can smoke it out of your hand, I guess. Fucking, I don't care for meth heads, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We got a lot of bums out in front of the store. A lot of street people, if you can call them people. You can call that bitter, but I have to deal with them all day, and then I live in the ghetto, so I don't really have a whole lot of compassion for them anymore. The one good thing about bums is they will do anything for money. And by anything, I mean, like, if you give a bum $5, like, he'll stab that other bum with a pair of hedge clippers in front of your store at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. If he's been giving you trouble, it's pretty cool. I'm just talking to you now, I don't give a fuck. Shit, I understand. It's weird though, cause like that only cost me $5, but I can only dump him down to $20 for a window AC unit he ripped out of an apartment around the block. Like, come on, that doesn't seem fair. How much time are we doing, Casey? What are we doing?
A little more.
A little more. I'll do a little more. Let's see what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Unit of time.
I don't know what. Yeah, that's whatever. It's when people like ask me like, yeah, man, can I get you anything? Yeah, can I get a couple or a few of your joint papers? I'm like, cool. How fucking many is that?
2 funnies.
2 funnies? I'll do 2 funnies. Thank you. No, I wasn't talking about you, Casey. I was talking about other people. Definitely not you. Let's see. I'm unemployed quite a bit. If you can imagine me having trouble maintaining employment. But whenever I'm unemployed, I have this idea that I always wanted to do. I haven't done yet, but if you guys are down for it, let me know. We can do it together. I want to start driving down to the Short North Arena District Friday, Saturday nights, finding Uber drivers, following them around all night, and consistently underbidding the fuck out of them. Does that sound fun? I'm like, he said $10? I'll do it for $5. I don't give a fuck. I don't work for no company. You can smoke and drink in my car. Shit, I'm gonna be doing it. It'd be weird if you didn't. Safety in numbers. If we're all doing it, we'll think it's fine. It's all good. I'm gonna wrap up on this. It's like a two-part job. Break down the parts for you guys. I date a trans girl who is on this show who is not here yet. And when we started dating, all my friends were like, why'd you guys start dating? And I'm like, well, the normal reasons. We like each other. We get along. It's really expensive to live alone in the city. All those reasons. The reasons we're still dating is because the benefits are fucking amazing. Hear me out. I don't have to talk to my elderly relatives at all anymore. Fucking ever again. It's pretty great. Did not have to call grandma on her birthday this year. Just would have made her cry. She's like, your grandfather fought in World War II for this. I'm like, you're damn right he did. He was a good man. No. Second benefit, people let me get away with saying whatever the fuck I want now. It's like I'm the grandfather at Thanksgiving that just said penis in the middle of dinner. Like, it's fine. No one's gonna say shit to him because he's 97. It's kind of like that. It's like, I've just been wanting to call shit gay again for years. That's why I started doing it. I just want to walk down and be like, that stump's fucking gay. People are like, you can't say that. And I'm like, but can I? I put the work in, shit. I had to start dropping hard F's again. The only thing I don't really get about that whole community is when people come up to me, and I don't mind it. I'm sure some of you might do it tonight. They come up and they're like, oh, they refer to her as my partner, or me as her partner. Like we're in like a fucking 1970s cop TV show or some shit. Like, I don't understand that. I call her my girlfriend. She calls me her boyfriend. The best way I can put it is that my partner probably won't go through my phone in the middle of the night, but my girlfriend definitely fucking will, for sure. Every night. All right, you guys, you've been great. I've been Cecil Heyman. Give it up for Casey and this Godfellows show and all that stuff that's been going on. I don't know how to put this back in here.
ZTO Radio. Have some.
Welcome back to ZTO Radio. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Yep.
I saw somebody. Well, I've seen a lot of people say every year they do this. Like, why isn't there straight pride? Well, it's stupid. Because you're not disenfranchised and have never been. And so there's no reason to be proud of just being the way you've always been. Like, these people have had to overcome so many things. Give them a break. The one person I saw talk about it said, why would you put a rainbow flag up as your logo? Because we did that. And I felt like it was directed towards us. Because I put up a Happy Pride Month.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, a lot of people
did. Yeah.
And this guy's like, why would you do that? Because you're. I feel the same way as I do about religion and politics about this. You're going to cut away a huge chunk of your audience if you align yourself with this. And I said, well, honestly, I'm not trying to make money off of anybody.
Right.
So I don't care what bigots think. I've never once cared. Won't care. Don't care about what bigots spend their money on. I don't care. I really don't give a shit if you unliked our page because we put a rainbow logo up and said Happy Pride Month. Good.
I'm glad you're done.
It's looking so stupid. It's 2019 and we still live in an era where gay people feel like they need to tell straight people that they are gay because everybody wants to know. That's the thing that like people are like, I didn't even know he was gay. Well, who cares?
Right.
Who do you care that much about their sex life? Anyways, I mean, why does everybody have to envision gay sex?
I never understand. I've never understood it. Like my entire life, I remember the first time I ever met somebody that was gay, that was openly gay.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, that person's gay," and I was like, "Yeah."
So what?
Cool. He's a good worker. I like him.
Yeah, it's.
Well, but he's a gay.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't care who he loves. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect me in the least.
Who's the guy from Wham?
George Michael.
George Michael.
Yeah.
At my work, a George Michael song came on, and this lady there was singing it or whatever, and she's like, "Boy, I love George Michael." And this other woman who's really old said, he's a fag or something like that, like something really like. And she's like, and the other lady's like, "What?" But I was like, "Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I would assume that person would say that because that's her era, you know."
It's funny because I used to have a bit in my stand-up about this exact thing, how from our generation and back, you know, the new generation, I don't really think they worry about it as much, but our generation, if you liked an artist, a musical artist or any artist, really, and they were gay, people would try to make fun of you for that.
Right.
And I remember telling somebody once that I liked Elton John. I love Elton John. I think he's got some of the best songs I've ever heard in my entire life. And somebody was like, "Well, you know, he's gay." And I was like, I don't care if he comes out on stage and blows two dudes at the same time. If he has cum running down his face and then plays Tiny Dancer, I'm still going to like Tiny Dancer. It's a tremendous song. And that's showmanship.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I think that people just need to get the message that it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't. First of all, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, certainly doesn't matter to the people that are that. Because where are they going to go? Oh well, Randy doesn't like it, so I guess I'll stop.
If you want to break it down to even the smaller degree, like you don't need to care about what gay people are doing that you're offended by, because there are plenty of straight people that are doing shit that you would be completely offended by in their gay sex, or no, not their gay sex, in their straight sex. Maybe they're having gay sex, maybe they're having bi sex. Who cares? I'm just saying.
Who cares what they're doing?
I'm just saying that if you're thinking you've already jumped the shark into gay town, when you should have just stayed back and resented the open-minded straight people who were doing fun things in the bedroom. I mean, really.
Well, it all stems, in my opinion, from our puritanical.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But let's be honest. Historically, this isn't something new. I hate when I see that. Like, oh, we're hearing about it. They're trying to turn our kids gay. Hey, guys, it's been around since the beginning of time.
Your kids are already gay.
Did you know? Have you ever seen the movie 300? Yeah. All of those guys were gay. They were from a entire culture where they would go off together for battle and they would have lovers.
Oh, yeah.
Alexander the Great was bisexual. He had a male lover and a wife. Back in those times, they had a different opinion of it. But at the same time, it's not new. So what are you so mad about? You know?
Even like if you look at some cultures, like I think it's Thailand or something, they have the ladyboy culture, where there was always like a male from the family that was designated to be a ladyboy. And when he was a little boy, they would dress him up like a girl. And then when he became an adult, he was like a prostitute, kind of. I mean, there's like...
Cultures have, all over different things.
And really, if you don't want to do it, it's really easy to avoid gay sex. I've managed to not ever fall into a gay trap or anything. I don't know if they do that. Do they do gay traps?
I don't think. If they do, I bet it would be really fun. I bet it's like some sort of amazing cake party.
Yeah,
you know,
and like
you get there and Elton John's playing.
Yeah, of course you would. But
would you like a cupcake? Yeah, well, I would. I'd love a cupcake. These are the best cupcakes I've ever had. Would you like a little dip?
The thing that I think is hilarious is that I don't care enough about whether someone's gay or not, that if someone were to walk up to me with their dick out and like be like say there's a guy that comes right here to my face, right here in my face with it, and just pulls out a hard dick, and he's like, "Hey man, you mind giving this a suck?" I'd be like, "Oh no, I'll pass." Good seeing you though. Yeah. Because I mean, I'd be like, "What's up with that guy pulling his dick out?"
But I wouldn't want to hurt them over it. No. But they would never be that. They're never that flagrant. You know, I mean, there are people who are just living their normal lives who have that attraction, and there's nothing wrong with it because they're not coming up and doing that. No. That's the misconception. These people that are bigots think they're going to run up if they get too much power. They're going to run up on their lawn and go, "You like it? You like it? Oh yeah, that's all. You're gay now," and then run away. I mean, that's not how it works. And if you're that worried about it, you probably have something in your head that you're like fighting, you know, that you're I saw this guy once and I really liked him.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like,
that's almost
Cletus,
always what the case is.
You know,
like some guy, oh man, yeah, it's a fucking fags or whatever, and then he's like thinking in his head about Jeremy from the Troop back when he was in World War II or whatever.
I always think of the movie American Beauty.
Oh yeah,
which is not popular to say now because of Kevin Spacey, but that's how I imagine it. You know, Kevin Spacey's character is just finally getting to be a normal, free human being. And the guy comes over who hates the gays and kisses him on the mouth, and he's like, "Oh no, sir, I'm not. That's not me. I'm sorry. You know, I hope you find happiness." And he comes back and murders them later. That's the guy that you're dealing with. The repressed. Oh, I can't let it happen because if it does happen, I might put on hot pants.
And most of that, and like you're saying, is puritanical. It comes from a religious place.
Yeah.
Why don't they hold on to all the values out of the Bible instead of just gay sex and abortion? How is that in there? Is that in there?
And that's another thing that's been around since the beginning of times. Those same Spartans, when they did mate, because they had to propagate, then they did mate to keep their ranks up. If the baby was deformed, they threw it over a cliff.
Oh yeah.
You know, so at least that's kind of what the Republicans want to have happen now. They want you to carry a full term. They want you to go, nah, that's not good. Do it again.
Such a stupid fucking world, man. I think I would love to see like true separation of church and state. I would love it if they could actually do that, but they never will, I don't think. Did you see, oh man, what was that guy's name? They just had an Inside Edition video of him, that preacher, and he was crazy in the video. He was making like these evil faces and shit because he was pissed off that they caught him in his bullshit. Mm-hmm. He had said that he didn't want to fly on regular flights, so he had a private plane. Right. Because he didn't want to be in a tube full of demons. So they were asking him, like, what did you mean by saying that? And he was so pissed off that they caught him in that and somebody I saw, I don't know if you saw this, somebody had taken stills from it and color corrected them to make him look like the Joker. Oh, that's and it was hilarious. But yeah, guys, start using your brains. Start figuring things out.
Here's what's going to happen. This is my prediction. One of two things. Either eventually all of this will be, because the newer generation, they're a lot cooler. I mean, they've got their own little kinks, but at least they won't be held up by closed-mindedness, you know? Yeah. But either we're going to breed it out, and eventually it will be a nice society where we get to, everybody gets a nice fair shake, or, and I think this is more likely, the world's going to be on fire here in the next 50 years. Yeah. And it's not going to matter anyways.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's get into some more music here. I got Farseek from Columbus, Let It Go from Lima, and June Dreaming from Lancaster, Ohio.
ZTO Radio. Have it with milk. It's delicious.
Got a cell, a bit in my body, it'll grow back, feel like I'm gonna vomit, seeing stars through my head back. All I wanna do is feel like I matter too. Gotta sell anything on, I only feel this way, 'cause I can barely fucking eat. Not enough money to get to work until they drain some blood out of me. I'm not giving blood cause I'm feeling generous. Malnourished, this is fucking dangerous. So someone to punch my heart when I get a fucking raise. Your system is fucked, there's no convincing me
outsiders among us in our small paradise. Interrupt our blessings under the full moon, so we bash it on your windows and we skin your tone. That's how it works in our town. Pagan Country! Pagan Country! 1, 2, 3, don't drink and drive, yo, Winnebago! Pagan Country! See, we are the pagans, we all work together. We orgy and we kill, sometimes enough in order those things in your cupboard. A note on broken glass, you've got each other, we got everyone else though. Pagan Country! Pagan Country! 1, 2, 3, don't drink and drive, yo, Winnebago! Pagan Country! Die in flames! Die in flames! Pagan Country! Pagan Country! 1, 2, 3, don't drink and drive, yo, Winnebago! This is our town, so go!
strike the demons and curse you and your
Welcome back, guys. The next thing I wanted to talk about on this episode was the saddest video I've seen. No, it wasn't somebody stomping on a puppy. That would probably be sad. It was Michael Palin. Or not, is it Michael Palin? No, it wasn't him. One of the Python guys that has dementia. Is it Michael Palin? No, it's Terry...
Terry Gilliam? No.
Yeah, is there two Terrys?
Yeah, I think there is.
Terry Jones.
Terry Jones.
Terry Jones.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam is the
animator. Yeah. Terry Jones has dementia. He had just won some sort of award, and he went up there to accept it with his, I assume his son, and he couldn't speak. That's the level he's at right now. So Monty Python came out and said, we're done. There's only 4 of us that are operating at any level, and they're just done. So I was like, man, dude, I grew up with those dudes, and I know they were generations ahead of me.
Right, but we got lucky because they were playing all of their stuff,
late at night.
And I think back on it, and I'm like, would I have even got into some of the other stuff I got into without seeing their stuff first?
Yeah, and Terry Jones, a lot of people might not know, I believe he directed Labyrinth.
I'd have to look it up.
I think so. I think I saw behind the scenes where he was working with the hand pit or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, where she's falling down and the hands are grabbing her.
Yeah. I just wanted everybody to look him up because look up all the Python guys because they've all done interesting things.
Yeah.
If you look up handmade pictures, they did Time Bandits. They did a movie called Jabberwocky, and there's just a ton of stuff they did. I think it's worthwhile, and Terry Jones is underrated, I think, for what his part of the group was. Everybody talks about John Cleese or especially Terry Gilliam. I mean, since he blew up beyond everybody,
Right.
But it's just sad to see people like that completely unable to, because he wanted to express his gratitude, but you could tell on his face he didn't even know how to put words together. So just want everybody to check out Google, look it up, look up Monty Python, and if there's anything you haven't seen there, check it out. Netflix has all these great specials on there now, unless they pulled them, but they did drop like all the seasons, it seemed like, and
it's worth your time if you've never experienced it, to sit down and sort through it and find because you'll find something that speaks to you.
Yeah, there's some stuff doesn't even. I never got it, and I still don't get it
because we weren't from that time period.
Right.
I think that's the thing.
They referenced stuff that was so out of their own time period.
Right, exactly.
That it was just off the wall weird stuff. And
they tried a lot of different things, and that's what I think the great comedy is taking risks and taking a shot. And all of them are worth your time. But yeah, Terry Jones, he's really good. So.
And if you look at the formation of the group, they were kind of, it's a cool beginning to their story, and the way that like John Cleese ended up doing Fawlty Towers, which is lauded as one of the greatest. It actually, that show set the formula for the short run British series like The Office, because they got the idea from Python was shooting a film, or maybe they were shooting episodes, and they had to stay at this bed and breakfast. And it was basically their experience with this bed and breakfast that they translated into a TV show.
Yeah.
And I think that they wanted him to keep going with it, keep making the show. And John Cleese was like, nope, we're just going to do, the short run. And then when they wanted him to do more, he kind of held him over the burner a little bit and got some stuff done for Python out of it, because he's like, I'll do another few episodes if you
Right.
I wish I knew more details about the exact agreements he went through on that, because I know he did some weird shit where he was like, yeah, well, we'll give you another season, but I think the season that he gave him was like 3 episodes or whatever. He figured it out perfectly, but I know a lot of people know about Python, but there's a lot of young people that don't know about Monty Python, and you're not going to love everything. I'm just going to say that. You won't love everything, but there's a lot of stuff there that's worth your time. And the movies, is a good place to start. Just start there and work your way backwards.
Yeah, and if you like what you're seeing in the movies, then watch the Monty Python's Flying Circus. You know, and you'll find episodes that'll make you laugh so hard that you will go, why was this not in my life?
Right.
And then you'll have episodes where you're silent the whole time and you're like, what was that?
A good time to watch, it's like late at night where you're kind of not really all there mentally. You're kind of...
Yeah. You're relaxed. You're trying to go to sleep and your brain's just taking stuff in.
Yeah. It's definitely of its time, a lot of it, but there's some stuff that's so timeless, like the one sketch where it's what's he say, you know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean, Squat?
You know what I mean?
That was a sketch that they wrote down on paper, and they're like, this is so stupid. It doesn't even, like, they're all reading it and they're like, this is dumb. It's not going to work. And then Eric Idle's like, I think it'll work if we just do it, you know?
Yeah.
It would be funny if we do it. And then they ended up getting it on camera, and it is one of my favorite sketches.
One of my favorites is this guy is going to swim the English Channel.
Yeah.
And literally goes on for like 5 minutes setting it up, and he jumps in and like hurts himself right off the bat. It's like, it's phenomenal. It's one of those things where you're like, I wish I could write something like that.
Yeah. And to have things like, Graham Chapman, that was Graham Chapman in that scene, I believe. In the Holy Grail movie, I heard stories that Graham Chapman was so hard into alcohol that they had a hard time dealing with him. He had shakes a lot. Oh, so they would have to take him to a pub and get him like 2 or 3 pints of beer in him before they could go and film stuff, So
right.
There's like a lot of cool little nuggets like that, just about the personality types and stuff within the group, and just look them up. Let's finish this. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I'm all out of topics.
No? You get Ray's book at the Amazon.com.
Yeah, you can. Or don't. I don't know.
It's Randall W. Woden.
I kind of have given up on all my dreams.
Well, get his book.
I like this. This is fun. I do this.
Yeah.
And then I work in an office, and I see a window once in a while, and I look out. It's pretty good.
Well, buy his book at Amazon, Randall W. Woden. Let's get into some more music to finish this off. Houseghost from Dayton, Ohio, Off the Meat Rack from Cincinnati, Ohio, and a good old track from our friends in Monkeynut. Remember Monkeynut?
Oh, Monkeynut, yeah.
I pulled them off of YouTube.
Wow, I haven't thought of them in a long time.
I don't know if I like it or not, but let's see. And we'll see you next time on ZTO Radio.
It's been a long time
consequence. Poison in the hemp for super hippie death. I bring the noise when the volume's set at 10. I'm definitely zen in a burning pentagram. I'm fresh, dressed like 15 cents. Can fool motherfuckers, Delante Weston. Ripped up threads, I'm peddling the best. Rap music for some meddling kids. When the pendulum pits, cause you betting it miss. You get hit on some raiders of the archetype shit. While I argue with some teenage Marxist prick of the importance of Kanye's heartless hit. No bargaining chip, I'm marginally sick, yeah. Jean-Paul Sartre, narcissist shit. But the tangent we in nihilist pigs laugh at our existence, you dig?
Drunk off the feedback, it's off the meat rag. Still got no greenback, still need the rehab. What? I can see that, I can see that, I can see that, I can see. Drunk off the feedback, it's off the meat rag. Still got no greenback, still need the rehab. What? I can see that, 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 I can see. Drunk off the feedback, it's off the meat rag.
Another day, another nasty reminder of me. Scrounging for the means to relieve that precious debt to no measure forever and ever. Because I'm trying to be disassociated, exasperated from the Newport mentholatums. I will stay forever faded, just like thrift clothes, like I chose the path alone. Based on the effects of the marijuana smoke. Oh no, but oh yes at the same time. Blunt after blunt on an assembly line. The final product posted in my mind. In due time, brain cells no longer mine. Still I'm doing fine like day one. Get high, get more done than God on day one. So let there be light, so I can see what I'm breaking up. Mid-throws, roll them up, cause we broke as fuck and that sucks. Still I need relief so I can cheap like Wigwam. Till we smoking good like Lil Jon. Bump it fat John, bump it fat John, bump it fat John, believe.
Drunk off the feedback, it's off the meat